A story has been trending on social media since yesterday. And it's not be fair if we don't talk about it. Anyways, according to reports, a young man had asked Professor Wole Soyinka to stand up from his allocated seat on the airplane. The professor had respectfully vacated the seat without any argument. However, other passengers were furious at the young man for disrespecting the well-respected professor. So Toyeko, a businessman in Nigeria, posted this scenario and talked, and people started reacting. So our question is simple. If you were the young man and Professor Wole Soyinka was on your seat in the airplane, would you ask Professor Wole Soyinka to stand up, or would you jejely sit down elsewhere? Let's hear your thoughts.
Excuse me? That's what...
Wait, calm down. Let me take a look at this.
Okay, no, English. Let me first interpret it.
Kuleko
means you are not trained. Lack of home training.
Excuse me?
Lack of home training. Lack of home training is what will make you see. You don't even need to know who he is. Just the gray hair on his head is enough to make you keep quiet and sit down. Auntie, so what I would have done in that situation...
Auntie, wait, calm down.
Yes, Auntie.
With all this home training that we have in this society, we are badly behaved outside. With all the home training that we claim to have in the society.
We don't have
Excuse me. Numbers are given on the plane for a reason. You pay and you get your number, right? You get your seat number. You get your seat number. You walk into a place and somebody is sitting on your seat number. The person, it doesn't matter. He's a human being. He's a man.
Okay.
He's sitting on your seat. I would ask you, excuse me, this is not your seat, sir. Can you please stand up? If he gives me a reason why he should sit there, then I will let him sit because he's an elder. But I will ask for my seat. It's my seat. It's my right. If anything happens and, you know, we hear of people misplacing bags, or how do I say it, or something is being... Let's take, for instance, somebody digs in. Hold on. Let's take, for instance, somebody digs. They put something in that seat, which is not meant for me. I'm not going to sit in somebody else's
Okay, just wait. Let me come to Mariam and hear your thoughts first. What are your own thoughts on this?
My thought is, me, knowing who I am, I would not ask him to get up. But I understand why it is important to ask for your seat. And the reason I've come for me is a new understanding that I have right now, which is I was brought up in such a way that you respect elders, but almost to a point of servitude. Do you understand? No matter what it is, no matter the elder is always right, even when the elder is wrong. I'm trying to bring up my children in a way that they can stand up for themselves and be respectful while doing it. So, thank you, Mariam. I have a very perfect example. There was a time I went to a federal government hospital, and when I went with my kids, and we'll stand up for the older ones. But these are little kids, less than 5 and 6 and 5. And they needed to sit down. The older ones an elder will come, they'll get up, and the older person will sit. But the children, when they need to sit, nobody will create space for children. That's something I found with Nigerian elders. Right. They take it so much on themselves. They do not even pay. They've not pass it on to children and pregnant women.
Let's come to this issue. I mean, we need to go back to what our values are. What do we value at all? In that situation, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't ask him I wouldn't even disturb him. I would sit down elsewhere and start a conversation. Sir, do you know you're on my seat, sir?
Wisdom.
And just have a conversation. Because when you do that, but don't worry, sir, it's okay, you can have a seat. Is there any reason why you like the window seat? This is actually your seat. And we start a conversation. Before you know it, I've earned a friend in a Professor Wole Soyinka. Then you don't know what can come from that.
Murayo, if I was in that situation too, I would have acknowledged to him that this is my allotted seat. However, I understand that you're already sitting there, and I wouldn't mind sitting here. So you are not saying, I'm not saying don't speak up to an elder. I'm not saying you should not respect. I'm not saying don't speak up. I'm not saying, because we tend to worship, and we tend to be so scared. But I believe that it's not about even if you don't know who he is, even if he is a nobody, if you respect to the point of fear, do you know what it costs to have full gray on your head? In our culture, we respect our elders because we understand the wisdom that comes with age. That no matter how intelligent you are, you cannot acquire until you experience it. Most of the time, we are forming, and I acknowledge the fact that the generation we have now, they don't know anything called respect.
No, I don't agree.
We don't. What we have now are like saying daddy high five, grandpa high five. That's not the way we respect children.
Respect. So I was in the US last year, and in the bus, we saw old women coming inside.
You get up.
And nobody told me. No, people were getting up. I got up. My husband got up. We're standing for them to sit. I understood that they needed it. The seats were not numbered.
No, there's disabled seats and the elder seats in front.
I'm just saying
yes.
The number wasn't given to me, and it was my choice to stand up because I saw that I needed to respect those old women.
Ojo, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
Morning. Go ahead, please. You're live. Go ahead, please.
I'm calling from Ilorin, Kwara State.
Yes, go ahead.
Welcome to the show.
I'm the first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
In Yoruba land, we give respect to the elders. So you have a culture, very rich culture. So no matter who sit on your seat, if once it is an elder, you give that respect to that person.
Okay.
No matter the cost, no matter everything, give that respect and find another place to sit. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I'll relate this to my daughter. My daughter is 7 years old. She walked into the studio like a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. And when she came in, she already see you guys upstairs. And over there was Auntie MM and somebody, and she was already saying hello to them from here. And Auntie MM over there, all the way over there, was saying hello. And I said, Elizabeth, go over there and go and greet them. Go over there and greet them. And you guys objected. Said, no. You said, why would you tell her to go and greet them? I said, no, because she's a child. She has to go over there, go and greet them.
Why?
Yes, because it's the right thing to do. She's a child. You see adults in the house, and you're not going to just stay here. Because of what reason? Go and greet the adults in the studio.
Why don't you go to the whole village and be greeting everybody one by one?
See, let me even say something that, about this.
I'm looking at you people like,
that we take to another level. We know there's actually a tribe of people in Nigeria that people say that they can greet you from morning till night, but right the moment they turn their backs,
they will speak against you.
That they will say about you. So we want the respect to be real and to be genuine.
To come from inside.
Let me finish. Can I go?
Thank you, Miriam.
In South Korea, there was a time that they used to always have plane crashes. And one of the reasons, so Americans came on board to find out what was happening. They found out that the co-pilot used to find it, because of their culture of respect, they will find it hard to correct the pilot to the point of death.
Oh,
it happened over and over again. No, it's
that's how it starts.
This is how it starts.
That's true.
There is respect. There is the way you can give respect. You know, you were talking about the US. In the UK, people call Oyinbo children all sorts of names. They don't have respect. They have respect. When old people enter the buses, they get up. Nobody tells them.
I saw that.
Sometimes they don't.
See, can we bring it back to this case?
I have this call. Wait, let me take this call. Morning, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I was speaking.
Go ahead.
Yes, I want to strike a balance here. Let's try and understand it from Obiajuli's point and from Tokmet's point. Now, we must understand that, yes, we need to respect elders. But for the part of security's sake, yes, I will tilt to the right. But for the sake of respect at all, I will tilt to the left with the Tokmet. But then, can we strike a balance? I'd rather go and meet him, even if I don't know who he is. I'd rather meet him and tell him, oh, Daddy, this is my seat. But then, I'll do something, sir. Can I know where you are supposed to sit? I'll move there. Or get an alternative place to sit, which is more like paying the due respect. And I think at that point, people will even respect you. They will call you.
There's a part of the story
done that part. You get it?
Please have been okay.
Go ahead. All right, thank you very much, sir.
So, what we should listen to this Tonye's report. He said that the cabin crew appealed, and everybody around appealed to him. Let this man sit down.
Okay, what was his reason?
Muzzle, chest, face cap. Bros said no. Prof should stand up.
Please give his reason.
So
it's not his reason, though. Is that his own reason?
No, that was somebody else. No, somebody else was claiming to be. Yes, it was not the real reason. Okay. So if we say that everybody appeals to you concerning someone, and this young man feels that you want to sit down there, Go ahead. There's a proverb in Yoruba that why we respect is because we're going to get to this age. And we also want to be given that accord. Now, the reason people say don't call somebody daddy, don't call them uncle, is because we've seen some old people abuse the privilege. Right. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't train your child to give respect, but they should understand the boundaries of those respects.
But the idea of saying that the respect is not from within is immaterial to what we're talking about. No, the most important thing is that you are training your children, because that's where humility starts from. When a child knows that you cannot speak to an adult anyhow, it begins to give them that sense of humility that they need. Because a lot of people go with that attitude of...
See, we're talking respect and different ways to give it. Yes. We're talking about honest, true to God respect. Yeah. We're talking of more than lip service respect. Yes. And this is where I'm going. The man had the right to his seat. Yes. And he had the right to ask for his seat. And there's a respectful way to do that. Yeah.
Which he didn't deploy.
Wait, leave that.
Which he didn't deploy. Let's agree.
Let me just finish it. Let me just finish it. Then there's another way where you would sit down, you would not ask for your seat. You sit down and you be grumbling. Grumble and grumble and say all sorts of things about the person that you're sitting beside.
That's not what we're saying.